Hey friends, and welcome back. Okay, in this tutorial what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you about method chaining in JavaScript, the idea that we can chain different methods together. Okay, so method chaining. So for example, we could use, for example, the filter method on the array of heroes down here, maybe filter out just to get the heroes who are in the Marvel universe. And then what we could do is map over that array and then do something with it. So the key point about method chaining is you could do something with an array, use one method, but then chain on another method and do something else. And what you'll notice is that we can actually make the syntax of this quite short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all use the filter method to iterate over the array of heroes and just return any hero that is in the DC universe. Then what I'll do is just log them out to the console. Then what I'll do is I'll store them in a variable, another array, the heroes we've got back from the DC universe, iterate over those and just return out using a template literal, the hero is awesome and they belong to a certain universe. And then what we'll do is we'll actually do that with method chaining and I'll show you how the syntax is a lot shorter. So that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. So we might just say let we'll do it with Marvel. So say let Marvel heroes be equal to heroes. So heroes, this array of heroes, an array containing objects. Using dot notation, we're going to use the access the filter method, okay? And we know with the filter method we need to pass in a callback function. And what we're going to do is just get a reference to each object in the array that we're filtering over, and we'll call that object hero. And remember, the filter method will return heroes to us. So what I want to do is just want to say return where the hero that we're iterating over, where their universe is strictly equal to the Marvel universe. So basically, remember, we saw previously with the filter method that if the condition that we're testing for evaluates to true, we add the element of the array we're iterating over to our new array. So for example, is Batman part of the Marvel universe? No, he's not. That evaluates to false. But Thor and Iron Man are. So when we filter over those, that will evaluate to true. And same with Captain America. And essentially what will happen is they'll be pushed into the Marvel Heroes array. So now if I just say console.log Marvel Heroes, we should see that we've gotten Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. Let me just show you this. We see here Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. Awesome. Now, what I could do is take the Marvel heroes and then map over them. So what I could do is I could say Marvel heroes, okay, dot map, and what we want to do is we want to iterate over each hero that belong to the Marvel universe. So we know we need to pass in our callback function, the function that's going to run or fire for each element in the array we just saw on the console. So we got to get a reference to each hero. We'll call that hero. And what we want to do is we just want to essentially return a string for each hero, but I'm going to use a template literal. So I should have said we're going to actually return a template literal. So using the backticks beside the number 1 on your keyboard, we know that we can embed variables. So we can just say the hero name. So we'll say hero.name is an awesome hero and they belong to the, and then using the, remember with the template literal, using the $sign and the curly braces, we can access the, basically we can embed variable values into a string or more specifically template literal, and they belong to the hero.universe. So what we should see here now is basically we're going to be logging out, when we log out Marvel Heroes, we'll see that, Thor is an awesome hero and they belong to the Marvel universe. Well, it's just actually going to say they belong to the Marvel, so we just add universe there for that to make sense. So now if I say console.log Marvel Heroes, let's have a look. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. We get this new array, and did I not log it out to the console? Oh, my apologies. I didn't store that in in an array. So Marvel Heroes, yeah, I haven't actually returned that, my apologies. So what I want to do is we want to say we'll call them awesome heroes. Awesome heroes be equal to awesome heroes, and then we'll log out that array. Awesome heroes. My bad, apologies. So just to recap, what we're doing is we have an array of heroes. We have all the different heroes from the various universes. When I say universe, you've got DC Comics, Marvel Comics. So what we're doing is we're filtering out to get back all of the ones from Marvel. So Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, okay? Then what we're doing is, on that array with our 3 heroes from the Marvel Universe, we're iterating over each one of those and just returning that the hero name is an awesome hero and they belong to that universe. We store it then in the variable awesome heroes and logged it out to the console. My apologies for not, I'm getting a bit hungry, so I'll have to make some food after this. But we see here, for example, Thor is an awesome hero and they belong to the Marvel Universe. Iron Man is an awesome hero and they belong to the Marvel Universe. And Captain America is an awesome hero and they belong to the Marvel Universe. So we're just basically returning a string for each one. But you'll notice that this is how much code I wrote, and then I logged it out to the console. So is there a way we could actually make that more concise? Well, there actually is, and you can do that with method chaining, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to write out that code again, but this time I'm going to use method chaining. So what I can do is I can actually make this code more concise. So I can say let Marvel Heroes be equal to, okay? And we're going to use filter. So it's heroes original array dot filter. And what I'm going to do is, once again, we're going to pass in the callback function, okay? So we're going to iterate over each hero and do what we did the first time. And what we're doing is we're just going to return essentially where the hero universe is equal to Marvel. So use the code we did above. We are going to say return where hero.universe is strictly equal to Marvel, okay? So that's what we're doing there. Now, instead of, basically doing what we did here, I want to map over the Marvel heroes and store it in a variable. What we can do is we can actually just chain on the map method right here. So instead of taking Marvel heroes down here and then mapping over it and storing that in a new variable, we don't need to do that. We can just use the map method right away. So what you do is you just say dot map, and now we can do our map method here. And remember, the map method again will take back in, it's going to take in a callback function as an argument. So we'll call it hero, okay? The 2 methods don't have access to each other, so that's why I can say hero here, use hero as a local variable there, and then hero again here for map. And what I can do then is just do our original code, where I can say return. We'll do the template literal. Sorry, wrong button. What we're going to do is we're going to return hero.name. What do we say? Is an awesome hero, and they belong to the hero.universe, and then add the word universe at the end, just so it makes sense. Okay, so now what I've done is, instead of writing out all of this code, I've just wrote this code. And what you can do is put your semicolon at the end there. So you notice that I don't put a semicolon at the end of the first method, in this case the filter method. So that's what we did up here when we wrote the code. I know it's commented out, but we have our semicolon there to basically end that statement, and then we run another piece of code. There's no semicolon there, okay? Now, if I log out Marvel Heroes, we should basically get the exact same thing. So Marvel Heroes, tell you what, I won't log out anything. Let me just save and refresh and just clear the console. So let's do that. Console is now clear. And now let's log out console.log our Marvel Heroes. Okay, and then I want to show you that this works and how to make it even more concise. Okay, and we see here, we get our array, okay? So Thor is an awesome hero, so is Iron Man and Captain America. And the cool thing about this is we've actually used method chaining. We did something on the heroes array, we filtered over it, okay? We wrote our code here, so we have our first callback function. So we're writing our filter code, filtering out over this array of objects and only returning those in the Marvel universe. And then what we're doing is then we're mapping over and basically just returning a template literal. Now, to make this more concise, you'll notice that we've only passed in one parameter to both callback functions. So the first thing you can do is delete the parentheses there for hero, and also delete the parentheses there. So we know what arrow functions we're allowed to do that. So if I save and refresh, our code should still work. So we get no errors, that's cool. But we can make this even more readable. What we can do, and I'm not crazy, is we can actually, suppose you could say, put or scoot down the filter method onto a new line. And what we can do is just delete that space there, bring all that up to one line, okay? Just do that again. And so you notice that we have the semicolon ending within the code, but for the end of the filter method, I'm just going to put a space there and then call the map method. And what I can do is basically just delete all of that up like so. So this might look crazy, but you'll notice here we're able to put the filter method on one line, okay? Filter method on one line and the map method on another line. So if you wanted, what you could do is you could put the dot there and then delete the dot there just so they look the same. But I actually prefer, what I like to do is put the dot here. So dot filter and then dot map. And if I save, I should get no errors there in Visual Studio Code, and that's still working. So what we're now doing is we're saying let Marvel heroes be equal to heroes, okay, this array of heroes, but on this line here, we're filtering over this array of heroes and returning only the heroes that belong to the Marvel Universe. So Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. Captain America, let's try that again. And then what I'm doing is on the next line, I'm then using the map method to iterate over what was returned to us and then just return this string. So, you know, return hero name is an awesome hero. We'll delete and they belong to that universe. It just makes it a bit very long. But if I save and refresh, what we're doing is basically on this line, we're using the filter method to get the Marvel heroes. And then what we're doing is we are using the map method to return essentially a template literal. Basically, a fancy way of saying a string with a variable inside of it. So if I just save and refresh, we see here we've basically used two different methods now. And what we've done is step one, we've got the Marvel heroes back, and step two, we've created a template literal. We've said Thor is an awesome hero, Iron Man, Captain America, etc. And the really cool thing about the ability to chain methods together is you'll notice that we actually did the filter method on that line, and then we did the map method on that line. And if I just delete all of the comments here, just so you can see the code and how concise it is. And notice again, I didn't use a semicolon here. Okay, I did not do that. There's no semicolon. We're going straight onto the map. It's almost like doing this, you know, heroes. Well, it is like doing this. It's like heroes.filter, run this code, and then .map, run that code. But as I say, you're able to put the filter method onto a line by itself, and you're also able to put the map method onto a line by itself. Okay. If I put a semicolon there, you notice then I start to get an error. So don't have a semicolon there. That would end the statement and you get an error. So if I save and refresh, hopefully everything should still work. I believe it will. Awesome. Okay. And yeah, that was method chaining. Basically, method chaining means we can chain array methods together. So that's the first time we've done that in this course. So that's awesome. Really what we did was we used the filter method to iterate over an array of heroes and just return the ones in the Marvel universe, and then we used the map method to iterate over what was returned to us and then just create a template literal. So I'll leave that tutorial there. That was awesome. Get some practice yourself and see if you can do it with the DC universe. But I'll see you in the next tutorial.